We're here at the Classic Plastics Toy and Comic Expo with Jordan Patton. Jordan is the creator of DeadNecks, and we interviewed him last year. We had the table, and we did the live YouTube that wasn't so live. But I'll tell you, man, your video, as far as that goes on our YouTube channel, has done the best.
Right on.
Yeah, so that's very awesome. So how have you been, man?
I've been pretty good, just staying busy, kind of working on some new stuff towards our first episode. But yeah, other than that, I just kind of hide out in my basement for 5 days a week and work on stuff for our episode.
That's awesome. I've seen the set design, and you've come up, it looks like, with a couple of new characters, which we'll get to here in a minute. But first, I want to know, how is the show going? I mean, have you been picked up or anything yet, or are you still just working through everything and working the lines of the less fun stuff, like getting networking and all of that?
Yeah. Well, right now, we're kind of in a build-out process for the first episode, so I've got to create all of the special effects and everything. We've got the story written. I need to storyboard it, but right now I'm working on making all of the props, the makeups, the masks, animatronics, things like that for our first episode. So I'm giving myself about a 6 to 8 month build-out period. Then we're going to start filming.
Awesome. So with something that's episodic like this, how durable you do the work, you and Aaron, right?
Yeah.
And you have a small crew, basically, don't you?
Very small crew. There's about 3 or 4 of us that are willing to work on it and put our own time in and our own money to try and get it going further. But we're all pretty dedicated to it, and once we get all the effects done and everything and start filming, it should only take us about 2 or 3 months to actually film our episode. After the episode's done, we're kind of hoping that we can pitch it around and see what people feel about it, and maybe we can get an even bigger crew to help with future episodes.
Awesome. So the line that I was going on there, to continue that, is with it being an episodic thing, do you really have to build the props and the masks to be super durable, or so you don't have to do as much doctoring throughout the episodes?
Yeah, so we actually encountered that with some of the things that we had for our trailer. So the guns were actually made out of just insulation foam. I carved those out, but during one of our scenes we actually snapped it in half, and I actually had to go in and repair it and everything. So in the future we need to make things a little more durable. I'm actually going to be making a mold of that so I can make it latex and foam like a lot of these. That way it can bend, flex around, and not break or anything. So yeah, with that it needs to be very durable. I mean, we're going to have a lot of practical effects like throw up gags, things like that, a lot of blood splatter. It's essentially going to be like a gore show.
Right. So do you have, with 3D printing, really finding a whole lot of traction in the last couple of years, do you guys do any 3D printing on top of that to help augment, or do you have access to one, or is it something you'd like to work in the future?
Right now, everything's kind of done by hand. The shop that I work at, it's a place called Tech Shop. We actually have several 3D printers there, but I haven't utilized them for any of this process yet. I have been looking into like resin 3D printing. So if I wanted to produce like smaller characters and things like that, like merch to sell, I would definitely be doing that with the resin SLA printers, just because you don't get any of the striations in any of your prints, so it comes out fairly clean. So I've been looking into doing that so I can get some more products out there for like cool merchandise.
Awesome. How has the con treated you this year so far?
It's been pretty cool. I mean, I've seen a lot of familiar faces from last year, so it's always good to recognize people and have them recognize you and just kind of chit-chat back and forth about what everyone's been into and everything. So, yeah, it's been great so far.
So you also said that you're working at a shop. What was the shop's name again?
This place called Tech Shop. So it's kind of like, essentially like the YMCA, except for without workout equipment. We've got like wood shop, welders, water jet cutters, laser cutters, 3D printers, things like that.
Oh my God, that sounds so freaking awesome.
Yeah, I used to live there like 24/7, just would never leave the place other than to go sleep at home.
I understand, man. I can't even imagine the amount of creative juices flowing in a place like that.
Yeah, there was like 500 or so members there, and everyone does something different, so you never know what kind of stuff you're going to see coming out of there. You got all kinds of artists, furniture makers, welders, machinists. It's crazy. Like, people are making their own robots in there.
That's awesome. So, I mean, doing something like that also affords you great networking opportunities, I imagine.
Without a doubt. Like working there has really brought a lot of opportunities to me, just with the flow of people that come in there and the people that know about the place. I mean, it's helped me grow in my own skill sets as well. Like I didn't know how to weld before going in there and working there, but now I've got welding experience. I've got a lot of just various experiences from all the different machinery that's in there, and it's really helped me to be able to create a lot of the stuff for the show.
That's awesome. So, do we have any new characters that you're bringing to DeadNecks here today?
Right now, we've got one new character. I just finished him up about a day or two ago. His name's Boo-Hoo. He's like a little patchwork ghost character. He's not actually going to be in the first episode, but he's probably going to be making an appearance in the second episode for sure.
Gotcha. Awesome. So what are some of the other characters if we want to just kind of roll through the table here? And even though I don't have, I'll take a picture to post along with it. And we'll let them know. So let's start off from the left to the right, which will be the right to the left since we're behind the table.
Right on. Well, over here we've got Soft Serve Merv, so it's kind of like a larger sculpt that I did for that. He's actually going to be used in the first episode. So, I mean, if you think back to the Ren and Stimpy cartoons, whenever it would be like hyper close-ups and you'd see all the disgusting details, that's essentially what these larger masks here are for scenes like that in the first episode. So, yeah, I just tried to sculpt that as detailed as possible just so it would read disgusting whenever you go for that hyper zoom in the actual skit itself. And then below him is the birthday boy. It's actually one of Merv's victims. So Merv kidnaps children and turns them into strange food-related creatures. Above him, we got Ma Slackjaw with her beer can curlers in her hair. She enjoys sleeping, eating, and smoking a lot out of the hole in her neck. And then down there we've got Boo-Hoo, the new character. So he's actually secretly one of Merv's victims as well. He's just kind of lurks about Merv's whereabouts and kind of haunts the place.
Oh man, spoilers!
Yeah, a look into the future. And then above that we've got Pete. He's more or less the main character of the show. I mean, he's just like a little dopey character here. The rest of his family thinks he's completely stupid and useless just because he can't really talk, and he's always wearing this pumpkin on his head to disguise his horrific face that's underneath of it. But Pete's actually really smart, and he has a lot of personality, but his family doesn't see it because they're all pretty stupid themselves. And then beside that, we've got Ted Slackjaw, Pete's uncle. So the two different versions here. So that's the original Ted as well as the hyper-extended face Ted. So the hyper-extended face will also be used in our first episode as well as one of those close-up shots.
Awesome, man. So, I mean, how many different iterations do you build different masks? Or
for one character? Yeah, for one character, sometimes it depends on what you can actually do with your face. Because, like, for some of them, I do makeups to where you can move your face, but you can only get so much expression out of it. So if I want like a hyper expression, like what you see in a lot of cartoons, you really just have to sculpt an entire new piece just to really give it that exaggerated look. Because with DeadNecks, like we really want it to look and feel like a cartoon, to do the impossible, essentially, like with facial structure, bone structure, and all that. So to do that, you kind of have to break down and do several sculpts for one character just to get that one effect. But I think it'll really be worth it in the end to actually see a living cartoon, essentially.
Right, I gotcha. Do you, when you're doing something like that, do you think about any way to have some sort of modular ability to do something like that? You know, where you could maybe detach a jaw only and be able to do something like that?
Yeah, with that you start getting more into like the animatronic side of things, which is really interesting, and you can actually do a lot with those, because with those you actually have a skin that goes over top of an underskull, so it kind of mimics the anatomy of an actual person, so you can actually get a lot of movement with that. But with that, you just got to think about how it's going to work. You got to kind of deconstruct how something's going to move and kind of reverse engineer it so you can figure out how you need to build it. So I mean that's very interesting, and it takes a little bit more time, but it's got a really cool effect in the end, just because you've got literally an underskull, some skin, movable eyes, things like that. So you can really play around with a lot of things that you can't actually do with the human face.
Gotcha. Awesome. All right. Well, Jordan, where can people find you if they want to find you guys? And do we have any idea where we'd be looking at watching the first episode?
So you can find us on Facebook.com/DeadNecks, Instagram.com, or Instagram, just DeadNecks. And I would say we're probably looking at getting our first episode out a little over a year from now. Like I said, we're in the build-out process right now, and it should only take us about 2 or 3 months after that to get it filmed and then put it into post and get it all edited together. So I would say year and a half from now, you should be looking at an episode. We're going to drop spoilers along the way just to keep people entertained and interested along the way. But you should be able to see it, I'd say, in a year and a half from now.
Awesome, man. I'll hold you to that. All right. Thanks a lot, Jordan.
Yeah, thank you.